Almost 3 years after the release, The Crew 2 changed a lot through regular updates and patches. So the question is The Crew 2 still worth it in 2021? What's up everyone and welcome to a new video. My name is Omar with Real Gamer Review and today I'll be reviewing The Crew 2 in 2021. Also, before diving deeper, if you haven't subscribed yet and you check below, I'm right on that 1000 subscribers marker. It could be you actually that tips me over. Hit that subscribe button, it would be hugely appreciated and hopefully you can hit that 1000 subscribers. Also, I've provided links for the game different versions at a discounted price, make sure to check it out. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Developed by Ivory Tower and published by Ubisoft, released back in 2018, The Crew 2 is an open-world racing video game. It features a persistent open-world environment for free roaming across a scaled-down recreation of the United States. Yes, it is scaled down, but believe me, the map in this game is huge. Like driving between states will take some time from your gaming session. The story itself is very basic. The player assumes control of a racer who is trying to work their way to become successful in multiple disciplines, and each discipline contains a different set of vehicles. Notice I said vehicles, as this game doesn't only contain cars, but it is packed with different types of vehicles. Almost everything you can imagine. Cars, motorcycles, boats, planes, and hovercrafts. And even every category of vehicles has a subcategory under it. For example, under cars you have street racing, hypercars, demolition, drifting, drag, monster cars, rally, off-roads, and even professional cars like touring and F1. And the same goes to every discipline in the game, like boats having different subcategories and planes as well, etc, etc. This racing game is packed. It reminds me of when I order a pizza from a new place and it comes stuffed with tons of toppings. An amazing feeling. Anyways, back to the game. So starting the game, you get to choose between 8 different gender set avatars. You would be able to see and control them in third-person view inside your house, as you can go around and see most of your vehicles parked inside, which looks pretty cool actually. As I mentioned before, the game is an open world style, so basically you can drive your vehicles anywhere you like. Yes, you can drive the Formula 1 and monster truck on the street. You can fly anywhere and drive your different type of boats wherever you wish as well, except on land of course. You can also take your Harley Davidson bike on the highway to do a cross-states race, or you can drive your Formula 1 car in Las Vegas streets, or maybe have a race in a snowy Grand Canyon. And since we mentioned the snow, this game has a dynamic weather conditions system and a day and night cycle. The different weather conditions includes clear, cloudy, rain and snow, so most of the main ones are there. They work good most of the time except for some rare occasions where after pausing the game in clear weather conditions, when you unpause you will find everything is covered in snow. A bit weird, but still, as I mentioned, it is rare and I don't mind it, to be honest. After all the updates in the past years since The Crew 2 was released, the game has currently a bit over 390 vehicles between all the different types of vehicles that I've mentioned before. A pretty good number you will get access to. So whatever your favorite type or brand, probably you will find it here. Next we have the handling, and this is the part that annoyed me slightly. I knew before playing this game that definitely the handling would be arcadey, but it was a bit skittish to my taste when I tried it, especially with cars. It felt a bit too stiff in hard corners if you just use the brakes, and a bit too skittish if you use the handbrakes. I can't explain exactly how it feels, you just have to try it to get the feeling of its handling. I feel they just didn't get the balance correctly, like Forza Horizon games for example, as they are allegedly aiming to create the same type of game with some extras on top. If the handling was like Forza Horizon games, especially Forza Horizon 3 and 4, it would have been perfect. But of course, that is only my opinion, maybe some people will like that kind of handling. In the end, we all have different tastes. And of course, different types of vehicles will have different handling, but I can't be the judge on those as I didn't play a lot of motorboats, motorcycles or monster truck games. But I would say that the handling for those feels good and responsive. Explaining a bit more about the map, as I mentioned, it is a scaled down version of the USA, but still the map is massive. Like a road trip between different states, it can take you easily a bit over 30 minutes in real time. There are actually a lot of YouTube videos out there for people doing just that if you're interested to get a feel of the map scale. And thank God the fast travel is available very early in the game, or you'd be wasting a lot of time in just driving to your destination. Recently with the updates, the game introduced the addition of police, but just to be clear, it was not added to the full game like Need for Speed style of police. It is just added to certain events that you can play individually, so you won't find any police in the free roam. They started with the first event called the Chase. You play with a police car where you chase a number of different vehicles, and your mission is to stop them by wrecking them. And how many cars you have to wreck depends on the difficulty you choose for the event. Also, it is actually some sort of a movie set, so it is not even a real police chase. Later, they released a few updates for the Chase, and with the very recent update they introduced the Hunt, which is the exact same actually, but you hunt down other cars off-road instead of inside the city. The concept is good, but unfortunately it gets a bit boring after a while, as nothing extra or new happens once you progress or increase the difficulty. You just chase or hunt a higher number of cars. But definitely the massive size of different disciplines and race types compensates for that. The game has as well a fans system where winning races or doing simple driving or flying skills lets you gain more followers and ranks you up, which also unlocks new races and disciplines to play. There is one other big event called the Live Extreme, where you have a big race which includes 4 different kinds of vehicles, which the game switches between automatically every time you finish a part. A pretty cool event as well. Also, you have the option of upgrading your vehicle, as you get gift upgrade parts every time you win a race. As for the visual customization, there are a few different parts for each vehicle, but they are kind of basic and not a lot. The game features as well a damage system, but only visually, and instead of going into a petrol station to fix it or wait till the next race for example, they chose the Wolverine effect. The car will heal itself after a while. So basically, when it comes to the gameplay part, this game is packed with tons of content and different race types for every taste. It will simply keep you engaged for a pretty long time if you are a racing games fan. The multiplayer in this game is basic, with a few different kinds of races you get to choose from, you and the online players that you have been matched with. Also, there is another mode which you can play a mixed vehicles race in. After voting for the race type, you get to play with one of your cars, or you can play with a loaned car just for the event itself. As I said, a pretty straightforward multiplayer option, but unfortunately it's kind of dead on PC in 2021. I tried a few times to play a match online on PC, but I kept waiting for a very long time with no luck. On the PlayStation 4, on the other hand, I waited for a bit over 3 minutes, but I got connected eventually. So probably with the consoles you will have a better chance of finding online matches. After more than 2 years, I would say that this game still looks pretty good. Definitely not the best out there if you compare it to other games, but still it looks pretty good with a lot of details put into cars. The only annoying thing that I've noticed is some pop-up textures happening when you are free roaming while speeding, even when playing on PC on highest settings. Other than that, I would say it looks good overall, especially with the much details they've put into the cockpit camera in most of the vehicles. As always, I would recommend for getting the best experience visually is playing this game on PC. It looks pretty good on consoles as well, so I would still recommend playing it there if you want. Unfortunately, till the recording of this video, there is no news of any enhancement for the new gen consoles from Ubisoft. So even if you are playing this game on Xbox Series or PS5, you are still getting the last gen visuals, and the game is capped as well to 30 frames per second. As always, with most of the open world racing games, you have different radio channels that you can switch between while racing in any kind of vehicle. It covers most tastes, so when it comes to the music part, I would say you will get a decent collection that will keep you entertained during your gameplay. As for the audio, they managed to do a pretty good job with almost all kinds of different vehicles, and I will just leave you with a few clips to listen and judge it yourselves. Although this game is almost 3 years old, but I enjoyed it a lot, especially after all the updates and additions they introduced through the years. Ivory Tower, along with Ubisoft, did a pretty good job creating this game all around. From the great recreation of USA all the way to the much details they've put in all different kind of vehicles. Yes, the game has a few downsides, but those wouldn't keep you from enjoying the experience. So if you are in the market for a new racing game that includes an enormous list of different cool vehicles, then this one is definitely worth a place in your gaming collection. Alright, time to wrap this up. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, then leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.